Greetings, fellow productivity seekers. I'm Garland Coulson, Captain Time, and today we're going to look at use cases for NotebookLM, one of Google's AI tools. So, as you can see here, I have a large number of notebooks that I'm using for learning, for content creation, and a bunch of different things. I'll show you an example here. This is one called Publishing, and this is a notebook that I created to learn about publishing and self-publishing for a fantasy series that I'm writing, and I'm planning on writing both fantasy and science fiction series. So NotebookLM consists of three panels: sources, chat, and then over here we have studio. So what you can do here is you can add sources by searching the web, by uploading files, websites, Google Drive, or copy and paste text. And so I've added these different sources, and you can look at each source to see if it's a credible source. Like, it will actually give you an overview and show you the content. So you can look at all of this and say, okay, this is a good source. So these are reputable sources that I trust, that I'm pulling in here to use. Now, the benefit of being able to select your sources is there's less AI hallucination. So it's less likely to make up things because it only uses the sources you have here. And you can tick and untick any of these sources. You can also delete any of these sources as well. Center part is chat, what we're used to using with most AI tools. So within here is where you work with that content, ask questions, maybe put together an ebook marketing plan or an audiobook marketing plan, and things like this. The place where NotebookLM really shines is in the studio. In the studio, you can click on all these different options: audio overview, slide deck, video overview, a mind map, reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, and data tables. Lots of great stuff. The audio overview is really neat because you can not only give yourself like a brief audio overview to understand the topic better, you can also do a deep dive, which creates a lively conversation between two podcast hosts talking about the topic. So an interesting way to learn. You can have an expert review of your sources, you can create a debate, and you can control the length: short, default, or long. And you can then tell it what to focus on during the episode. Great way of learning, great way of creating audio content. The slide deck is another great tool, and this gives you a chance to create a very detailed deck. If it, for example, it's going to stand alone, or if you want presenter slides where you're presenting in front of a group, once again, you choose the length, and you can choose describe the deck that you want to create. Video overview is brilliant. This lets you create an explainer video where you can quickly create a video that's going to explain how things work. You can choose from a wide range of styles down here, or you can do a full explainer video or just a brief overview. And once again, you can say what should it focus on. Mind map, you can click on mind map and it'll create a mind map for you. A report, kind of obvious. Flashcards and quiz are great. If this was a topic you had to learn for university or school, then you could create flashcards and quizzes to help prepare yourself. And infographics is to create an infographic and a data table. So let's look at a few of these and see what they look like. So first off, here's an example of a flashcard one I've created before time. And so this has created a flashcard, and then you can choose whether you like this or not. And then you can run the flashcards and learn that way. This is the mind map that it's created for you. And you can open up each of these areas, drill down, see them in more detail, and open it up, and lovely animation for you there for a mind map. So. And this is a table that it's created of some self-publishing sources that have been provided here. So that's the data table. This is a slideshow, and you can present the slideshow right here, or you can go ahead and export it as a PDF or as a PowerPoint. So then we can just go through here and move on to the next slides and go through them in this case. You edit the slides here by clicking on the edit and then going in and telling it what you want to do. So you're not editing each individual slide unless you export it as a PowerPoint. For the audio, here's where we can create an audio file. I'll just click on play here.
While you're just trying to eat a hot dog, yeah.
Right. It just felt like the last resort for books that, couldn't make the cut.
That is the classic stigma, the whole vanity press era. It's a really powerful image, isn't it? But if there is one thing our research stack today proves, it's that that image is.
So as you could hear, two podcast voices, each AI, chatting about self-publishing and the stigmas attached and the like in that case. Again, you can see the infographics here. You just have this up and you can create as many infographics as you want, telling them to focus on different things as well. So it's not like you only get one infographic for each, for each of these. And finally, let's find a video here. So this is an explainer video on publishing your book. Just hit play.
Okay, so you did it. You actually finished your book. That is a huge accomplishment. So first off, congratulations. But now you're probably facing a question that feels just as big as writing the book in the first place. In this explainer, we are going to pull back the curtain on the whole publishing process and give you a really clear roadmap for what comes next. Right? This is the question. It's the one every single author asks themselves. You've poured your heart and soul into creating this thing, but how do you actually get it into the hands of readers? Well, we're about to turn that big, scary what now into a very clear step-by-step.
So as you can see, the AI voiceover is great. Sounds fantastic. So this is how it works. The three panels, the sources, the chat, which we're used to using with almost every AI, and the studio, which is what really makes NotebookLM stand out. The ability to create all of these different things here. So what are the use cases for this? Well, you've seen one of them. I need to learn self-publishing in order to publish my series and have it successful. So I went out and I found all the sources I could. I'm learning this for myself. I'm using this to create plans for my layouts. Yeah, I'm using this to create my marketing plans and everything else. And then I've got the outputs that I can do there. But what is beyond that? What other things could we do that are not just related to learning in this case? What are some other sources that you can use? So I've been doing some digging and trying to think about this. And one big one is content creation. So the benefit there of creating all of this different content, the explainer videos, the audio files, the slideshows, and the infographics, all of these would work great for content creation and being able to promote that on your social media. This could also be a great way to do customer support. So what you can do is you can add your customer support things here, your regular chats that are had, chat transcripts, all of your standard operating procedures could be added over here. And then your team could use chat in here to chat with your sources to get the answers and solutions to the support questions that your clients have. So another great one. If you were hiring someone, you could use this to have position descriptions, your human resource manuals and the like. You could upload all of the different resumes that you've had. You could upload all the different transcripts, audio transcripts of the interviews you've had, and then you could ask, the NotebookLM here. You can ask for, say, the 5 top candidates. You could have it also prepare a report on those candidates or even an infographic on why it prefers all of these. Human resources, I mentioned hiring, which is one aspect of human resources, but the other aspect of human resources is this could be your entire employee manual in here, and then your users, your employees could then interact with your employee manuals here. Learning and skill development we've talked about, but of course this is a great way to have your employees learning, your clients learning and everything else. Another cool thing you can do with this is you can share these notebooks. And when you share these notebooks, you can control how much control people have over it. So you could just restrict it, where only people with access can open it, or you can make it public if you want. And you can also add a welcome note for them. And so an example of this that I've seen, and there are a number of templates that are provided as well. So let's just look here to all, look for templates. We'll see all the templates here. And then you can see that there's a number of templates here that have been shared. So this is from The Economist, and they've put together a whole bunch of their articles that you can, the World Ahead issue, like all of their articles, and then you can ask questions down here with your kind of economist expert that you can have and interact with it this way. So in this way, you can create interactive learning guides that people can't add to, but they can just interact with them. And then, of course, over here, you can see they've created a note on how to get the most out of this textbook. That was the welcome note. And then, of course, they've got explainer video, slideshow, audio files, and infographics, flashcards, etc. So again, a great way to create these learning tools, but also interactive learning tools that people can use. Meetings and internal communications, you could use this to have transcripts for the meetings. You can use it for meeting prep. You can use it to create agendas. You can use it to analyze group chats, Slack, Discord, whatever you're using to see what kinds of things should be included. Another great use I see for NotebookLM is personal knowledge management systems. And a lot of us spend a lot of time creating extensive notebooks, notes, by linking all the notes together to create these huge databases of knowledge we want to save. But how do you interact with it? What do you do with it? And NotebookLM answers that question because it gives you the sources, which we've already created with our notes, and you can put your notes in here, but then it gives you a way to interact with it using the AI chat, and then a way to actually create output, in this case, in the forms of all the different studio options that we have. You can use it to manage projects, pull together everything for a project, your meeting notes, action items, status reports, emails, etc. Research, it's a great for, AI tools are great for regular research, but this lets you go deeper and lets you choose the sources better, the more credible sources. And, and then, of course, you can use the tools within here to chat with those sources and then to create your outputs. Sales and marketing, you could train NotebookLM on your in-house sales materials, sales training from the best known sales trainers in the world, videos of you doing sales proposals to critique you and help, transcripts of sales calls so that the AI tool can track what went wrong, what could have been done. You can pull in your marketing campaign results, web traffic, SEO results, all of those, competitor information in there. And strategic planning. NotebookLM is a great way to create a centralized knowledge hub about everything about your business, finances, trends, marketing, market analysis, customer reporting, competitor analysis, and all those kinds of things. Then you can add virtual experts, like pull in resources from the best strategic guides in the world. And then again, you can chat with it and output this as things that everybody can integrate with. So that's my NotebookLM use case video. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit the like and subscribe button to help others find it, and post it out in the content. If you're using NotebookLM in a different way, post a note in the comments so that we can hear how you're using it. Thanks so much for listening.